What about family? Everybody has a toxic family member.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Everybody got a toxic family member. How do you distance yourself from those toxic family members? Everybody got quiet. I was going to say, but I can't be giving up my strategy.
Who be watching this podcast?
Right. I'm gonna be honest. I distance myself from toxic family members by I just stay in my bubble. I literally just stay in my bubble. Outside of people I see every day, which is people that live in my house, and my immediate family, which is like my mom, my grandma, you know, my dad, my brother, my sister. I just kind of don't involve myself with their drama because I absorb other people's energy, and that's a negative and toxic trait about me, and it causes too much stress.
Yes,
I absorb other people's energy because I do have a nurturing personality, and it's taken me a long time. I'm in my 30s, and it's taken me a long time to realize, one, sometimes you can be a people pleaser, and two, you absorb other people's energy. You take on other people's problems that are not your problems, and in turn, that makes you weaken, you know?
Right. It drains you.
It emotionally drains me. Right. So I just kind of stay in my bubble. Like, this is my bubble, and you can't come in it if you don't got the right energy. Right. Okay? All right.
That's the same for me. I pretty much stay in my bubble. I try to distance myself, not intentionally, but basically mainly to keep my peace. I feel like no matter what, like I said last podcast, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. That someone's always going to find something you do shady, whether you stay at the front end or whether you take a step back. Because you are in the front end, they're going to find something, and the moment you step back, they're like, oh, she thinks she's too good to be around us. So I kind of basically created my own family.
Who be watching this podcast?
Right. I'm gonna be honest. I distance myself from toxic family members by I just stay in my bubble. I literally just stay in my bubble. Outside of people I see every day, which is people that live in my house, and my immediate family, which is like my mom, my grandma, you know, my dad, my brother, my sister. I just kind of don't involve myself with their drama because I absorb other people's energy, and that's a negative and toxic trait about me, and it causes too much stress. I absorb other people's energy because I do have a nurturing personality, and it's taken me a long time. I'm in my 30s, and it's taken me a long time to realize, one, sometimes you can be a people pleaser, and two, you absorb other people's energy. You take on other people's problems that are not your problems. And in turn, that makes you weaken, you know?
It drains you. It emotionally drains me.
Right. So I just kind of stay in my bubble. Like, this is my bubble, and you can't come in it if you don't got the right energy.
That's the same for me. I pretty much stay in my bubble. I try to distance myself, not intentionally, but basically mainly to keep my peace. I feel like no matter what, like I said last podcast, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. That someone's always going to find something you do shady, whether you stay at the front end or whether you take a step back. Because you are in the front end, they're going to find something, and the moment you step back, they're like, oh, she thinks she's too good to be around us.
I used to have a lot of girlfriends, but I've had a lot of fake friends.
Well, it's just, I feel like it's hard as women to make friends or create relationships.
I feel like
lasting relationships.
I feel like there's sometimes jealousy involved, and you don't even realize, or you don't even know why they're jealous. They don't tell you. Or they don't feel like you're in a place in your life like them, and they start judging you. I hate being judged. Don't judge me. You will help me out because you're my friend, and make me get to a better place in my life. That's what you're supposed to be there for. But if you want to judge me and be like, oh, should never amount to anything, but don't tell me or how to fix it, I don't need you.
Toxic friendship.
People who are willing to just throw you away. I hate that.
They don't want to work on it.
It's not even that. Instead of you telling someone, like a simple conversation, hey, I don't like when you did XYZ, like we were just discussing, and you're going to throw me away or cut me off, And I haven't done anything to like seriously defame your character or to intentionally hurt you. I have a big issue in that because, like I said, friendships are hard to come by. And if you are willing to just throw it away,
it means I didn't mean nothing to you.
It didn't mean anything to you. And if you can't make a little bit of effort to say, hey, this bothered me or this hurt my feelings, I can see if I was dismissive, but you don't even care enough to tell me what I did.
Right.
Like I'm a mind reader. I think it irritates me to my soul because I believe anything that you take the time to cultivate, like friendships, relationships, you should put the energy to preserve or save.
Right.
So just a simple, because me, if you know me, I'm very, hey, you did this. My bad, I apologize. Right. Or, okay, let's talk about it because maybe you perceived it or maybe I did it and I wasn't acknowledging how it came across or whatever. So I always believe that if you have a friendship and it's something that you care about, that you should do what you need to do to preserve it. Not sacrifice yourself, not kill yourself. But if it's a quick 5-minute conversation, fix it.
Right. Well, I feel like some people try to make the effort to reach out, but the other person isn't always receptive.
Well, yeah, I agree. Now, that, like I said, if I'm not willing to listen, then it's my fault. But if you don't even call me and say, hey, I'm mad at you because you did X, Y, Z, and you just want to just cut me off, how can I amend it? How can I make an amends? How can I acknowledge it? How can I change the behavior if I don't even know?
But that's a red flag for that person.
Exactly.
That means they lack the maturity to be able to have communication.
Exactly. But have they ever tried to say it before and it just keeps repeating? And then they try to bring it up and now they won't talk to you again. It's like, all right, I'm tired of talking about this.
And then that's the issue.
That too.
That's the issue. Then you should say that, hey, I've called you out on this multiple times and you refuse to fix it. I have to sever the relationship. Just let the person know. It's just a quick, it doesn't take that much energy to properly alert somebody of something that you feel like you've been mistreated or mishandled, or just let the person know. That way they can say, all right, I need to check myself. Because if I care about you and if I love you, I should be willing to put in the effort to preserve the friendship on the other person's side that's offended them. You know what I'm saying? Not the person who's been offended.
And some people just are naturally not self-aware.
Exactly.
And I don't think that, some people could say, and you can disagree with me, I don't think that's a sign of maturity or immaturity. I just feel like some people naturally just are not self-aware. Just like some people naturally don't have common sense.
Exactly.
So,
common sense not always common.
It's not always common. So
because I can clearly be honest. Sometimes I'm oblivious to something. I'm like, did you hear what you just said? No. What did I just say?
Oh yes, I have.
Yes, I'm like,
you did say that.
I said that. God dang, my bad. And it's just that. Okay, I take accountability. Fine, right. All right, let me fix it.
Well, here's a big question. Here's a really good question. I want you guys to think about this. Marinate on it. How is it that a person can let you know that you're doing something wrong and it not come across as gaslighting?
Woo! How do you know when you're being gaslighted?
Right.
Yeah.
Because that is the thing nowadays. People gaslight people so much. And because it's such a common thing, you have no idea when it's happening to you. And if you're not sure what gaslighting is, Google it. But to paraphrase it, gaslighting is when somebody else is in the wrong and you approach them about what they've done wrong, and the conversation ends up turning to make you seem like the person who's crazy, or you're the one who's the wrong.
Yes.
So
the offended becomes the offender.
Yeah.
So we swap roles.
And you leave the conversation like
you did it too.
Yes, and to me that's a huge clue. If you're always walking away from somebody like, am I living in reality?
Yeah.
Did I just go through this? I think that's a huge clue. If you always, every time there's an incident, there's an issue, you always feel left dazed and confused.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a gaslighter. I think that's a huge indicator.
They constantly keep doing it.
Right.
And they constantly keep bringing it up.
Well, see, okay, so with gaslighting, it would be more or less that I come to you with an issue and then you flip it on me. So I feel like the best way to tell is if I bring you something and you don't even acknowledge any culpability in it.
Okay.
Or you don't even want to acknowledge the discussion I'm having with you and you just want to immediately flip it and make it hostile. and I'm coming
But
to you
that's what I'm saying. But
polite way.
When they come up to you,
It's already hostile.
It's already hostile. It's already a vibe.
So
once I'm already gonna get defensive.
If I say, Linda, I saw you yesterday and you didn't say hi. Well, what the heck is wrong with you? I'm like, okay, all right. So right now, well, I saw you 3 days ago and you ain't say hi to me. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? Whoa, okay. Now you gaslight me.
Right. Don't get punched in the face.
Sometimes it is good because if you continue and the conversation escalates, you start to say things that cause permanent damage you can't undo. So sometimes it's better to say, I'd rather apologize for hanging up on you than talk about when you did something 15 years ago and I'm still angry about it and how dumb you was. You can't take that back, but you can apologize for hanging up. We love each other and we love our friendship and we love our family. So that is true. I think all of us have genuine love for each other and for our families.
Oh, I agree to that. Damn, y'all done drunk y'all drink.
Not me.
We can't even cheers to that.
Clink, clink, clink.
All right, can we go clink anyway? Clink.
You guys let us know in the comments down below, what are some toxic traits that you feel like you need to work on? And tell me a toxic trait that you often see in other relationships that you involve yourself in, whether it be friendships, family, relationship. What is a toxic trait that you see way too often nowadays? I think especially with like social media and everything. Is everything really a red flag, or are we just being hypersensitive?
Exactly.
That's another thing too.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're not even gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Is everything really a red flag, or are we just being hypersensitive? Thank you for tuning in to Dear Desperada. Don't forget to like our videos and comment down below and share with your friends and follow us on Instagram at Dear Desperada. I have to always check with Danny because she's our social media person. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.